it's one thing. Oh, what's he going to do? Fire us? Yeah, you're right. He's not going to fire you. Do you think he's going to vouch for you?
Yeah.
No. You're going to ruin it all because you didn't want to clean your room, you little fucking baby.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Belowdeckperts, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And today we're recapping Below Deck Season 11, Episode 16, Salt in Chef's Wounds.
Finally, a title that makes sense.
Oh my God, I was like, this is the perfect title for this episode. It makes sense. I said this last week. I probably said it the week before. Am I the biggest fan of this chef? No, I'm not.
Nah.
But I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody's nice to him. Besides Dylan. Dylan likes him.
Yeah, him and Dylan are two peas in a pod because they're just off the wall weird.
They're weird. But it's just like how Dylan's weird, but I can respect that.
Yeah, like we're all weird, and it's not like I hate him or anything.
Right.
I don't have any malice towards him, but he's just a weird guy.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about Chef too, but I feel like they're more mean to Chef than they are to Dylan.
Yeah. Well, he's the new guy.
Yeah, I guess.
When Dylan came on, they're like, who the fuck's this guy?
I know. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I forgot Dylan didn't start the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, somebody commented and was like, whatever happened to them firing the most people? I'm like, I'm never... Oh, my God, the closet just opened. It did that to me the other day, too. I think it's too full.
Well, you gotta let whoever you have in here out.
Sorry, yeah. I have my cat trapped in there. I hate him. Just kidding.
I believe her.
Just kidding about trapping him in there. I do hate him, though.
They trapped me in the basement. I need help, please.
But no, I was like, you're right. I'm never listening to anyone ever again. Like, I'm never listening to any rumor.
I never believed it to begin with.
You didn't, but I was like,
did.
no, it's a definitely, I think it came from a reputable, other Below Deck or Bravo podcast or media channel or whatever. But now I'm like, nope, I'm never going to believe anything.
Well, yeah, it was someone who watches, I could be misremembering, but I believe it was someone that watches another Below Deck podcast. And that podcast said that they hit the record.
Yes.
And you believed it full force, not
I
talking
did.
shit.
Because
but I was like, yeah, I don't know.
It just makes me think these other Below Deck podcasts really don't have the insight that we think they do.
They don't have the insight that we do.
Well, no, I'm admitting that we have literally zero.
Zero.
Yes, but I'm also now going to say I don't believe them either.
Yeah.
So anyway, the way our episodes work is we start with a quick question for each other based on this week's episode since we don't watch them together, and then we get into the episode where we focus on 2 to 4 main points throughout. Today I have picky guests, or really just one picky guest, I guess.
Yeah, the primary.
Cabin inspections / captain being strict, with Ben, I guess, specifically. Mm-hmm. And the tension within the interior, Barbie and Zandy, is kind of leading us up to the finale. Mm-hmm. To be honest, this was kind of a snooze fest episode.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, things happened, but it was more of this is happening now. Wait till next week. Mm-hmm. It's going to be crazy.
Truly nothing crazy or big happened this episode besides right at the end.
Yeah, it's episodes like this that make me miss 2 episodes every week.
Yep. Because
you get the setup and then you get the payoff.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think one of my first notes is 10 minutes in and I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes I was like, literally nothing's happened. They've been cleaning the boat.
I know.
That was it. All right. So going into that, we didn't do our questions yet.
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. A scale of 1 to 10, what would
17.
I only have 7.
I only got 7.
What would you rank this season? And this isn't ranking it against any other. It's not prioritizing them. It's just straight up 1 to 10. Enjoyability.
I'd give it a 6.5.
Okay. I agree. I was actually going to go with 5.
Were you really?
Middle of the road. The reason I like it is because of Captain.
Captain, Barbie, Kyle.
Yeah, I guess. You're right.
Yeah, it was less dramatic than other seasons.
Fraser was up and down for me.
Yeah.
There were times I loved him, times I hated him, times I was like, he's so good at this. I would like to see him back. I wouldn't hate that. There are some people in our comments that feel extremely like, no, they don't want him back.
Yeah.
Which I can respect that. I get that. I wouldn't hate to see him back. Basically, I wouldn't hate to see him back. I wouldn't hate to see Barbie and Kyle back. But other than that, like, I don't care to see anybody else back.
I mean, Dylan's a fan favorite. We got to get him back.
Oh, Sunny, I guess. But she annoys me. She annoyed me this episode. I was like, girl, I am done defending you. I'm done.
Yeah, she like... I would find it in my notes, but it would take too long. And I never look at my notes anyways. Yeah. But she basically says, like, I want a man that treats me right, treats me how they would want their dad to treat their mom. And then just explains how Ben's not doing that.
Yeah.
And then is like, well, you know, there's a future there.
I know.
And I know I'm completely paraphrasing.
That's what I heard, though.
But that's what I heard in my head.
I was like, girl, I can't keep defending you. So you know what? No, I don't want to see her back.
Yeah.
Well, I could see her back, I guess, without Ben. Because I don't want to see Ben back.
No. I mean, he wasn't the worst.
No.
But can we get a bosun that's chill?
I know.
Just kind of hanging out.
We haven't had a really good one in a while.
Not really.
Well, I don't hate Joao, but you do.
I don't like him.
But yeah, we just haven't had like a really good, even like Luca. I'm like, I guess.
I liked Luca.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for me?
Let's see. Quit crying, you big man child. I needed that money for drugs. Oh, I clicked on a text from Mom. Sorry. Anyways, my question of the week. Are these guests the type of people that aren't super rich but think that rich people complain about everything?
The vibe I get is that the primary worked really hard for her money and like is paying for this trip for all of her friends that don't necessarily all know each other, but it ends up being fine. They get along. And that the primary, I don't want to say she doesn't know how to be a rich person. Like, I feel like that's kind of like mean, and I don't even know really what that means, what I mean by that. I really just think it was a lot of lost in communication, because the first thing with the salt, like that was the other part of this episode is a lot of it wasn't direct complaining. It was them overhearing them.
Yeah.
And trying to like intercept. Which just caused more harm than good.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to answer that question. Like, no, I want to give these guests the benefit of the doubt. I think a lot of it was dramatized because this episode is boring.
Yeah, they really got to amp it up when not much happens. But I think I didn't think this at first, but after hearing you talk about it, I'm kind of thinking like, if I was in that situation and I paid for all of this and I earned all my money and all that, like, if it's too salty, and she didn't even say that. Well, she complained to her friends, but she didn't complain to the crew, right?
She wasn't. Yeah, she was saying like, oh, well, okay, so I guess we'll talk about the salt thing first, because it's kind of at the beginning. It was their first lunch, and she says to the group, oh, I can taste salt. I don't usually use salt in my cooking. It wasn't really a complaint. It was like, oh, I just noticed the salt because I don't typically use salt, which that was a little weird. Who doesn't use salt, right? Yeah. Everybody uses salt.
Everybody uses salt. There's like a chemical reason you use salt when you're cooking. I
just love it. But then Fraser hears that, thinks he hears not enough salt.
Yeah, I was confused by that part.
No, she's saying she can taste the salt. Fraser thought she said she can't taste the salt.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it twice. I'm like, I still don't get this. I just didn't catch that part. Yeah.
So then that's when I was like, oh my God, no, that means he's going to add more salt, even though she says she can taste it, which I think it comes back.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh my God, really salty. Oh yeah, it does come back. Another meal, because she's like, oh my God, really salty. Because it is, because he added more salt. And then Fraser goes to the chef and he's saying, now she's saying it's too salty. And the chef's like, oh my God, she doesn't know what she wants. She just wants to complain about stuff. And I was like, No, she really doesn't. Like,
yeah, he kind of gave her a cold burn there too. He says something like, "The amount of complaining, no wonder she's divorced." And I was like,
oh, I know.
God
And I was
damn.
like, poor girl. Honestly, hasn't even complained once.
Yeah, it's true. It was just overheard.
She's just talking to her friends.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Fraser, put your spy equipment away.
Right.
Go clean a toilet.
Hence the name,
Kidding.
Salt and Chef's Wounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, first 10 minutes of this episode, boring. Preparing for the next charter. They're kind of setting us up though for Xandy getting annoyed at Barbie. Now, I want to know your thoughts on this. Do we think Barbie's actually being lazy, or are they literally just showing us normal breaks that we just don't normally see?
I think outside of the one where she slept like an extra half an hour, obviously you can't do that. I think the rest of it is either completely staged and edited in a way where like, oh, Barbie's on her phone constantly. Or it's, I don't know, it's so weird because Xandy's like complaining about it and she probably just sees Barbie. Like, how often do we as humans pull out our phone, text someone back for 15 seconds, put it back, and keep doing what we're doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's clever editing, Xandy overreacting, and Barbie maybe not hiding her phone as well as she should. Or she could, I mean.
Yeah, I think, again, over-dramatized. I really don't think, besides her sleeping in that one time, which I also think happens more than we see.
Yeah.
Because they're all so tired. That could also be playing into this. This is the last charter. Everybody's so exhausted.
Oh, everyone's exhausted and pissed off at each other.
And this happens every season.
Yeah.
Like, they are hanging on by a thread by the end of the season. So, I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we can segue if this is where you're going next, but even Captain seems like he's exhausted, and that's why he's so pissed off.
Yeah, that's what my first note regarding that is Captain's telling Ben what he's doing wrong, and Ben is being a baby.
Yeah. And Captain is more in the right. You do have to do things correctly the whole season.
Right.
You can give him kind of a break, I guess, but I think he's just like, I need to get out of here. I need to, I have pent-up aggression.
Captain?
Yeah, that last part didn't seem right to me.
No, I mean, again, I think everybody's kind of hanging on by a thread. I think Captain's just pointing things out as like, hey, this wasn't done. Maybe he's been doing that the whole season too, and we just haven't seen it.
Could be.
But
well, it kind of has been with all the room checks and the deck checks and all that.
Well, he hasn't done room checks besides this one, right? Besides this episode?
Or no, not room checks. Where he checks where they clean the guest cabins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the vibe I got was like deck crew's just ready to be checked out.
Yeah, they're checked out.
But I don't agree with that. Like, I think like you should be putting just as much effort into this last charter as you were in the first one. Like, the guests deserve that. And so that's where I'm kind of on Captain's side, where it's like, no, just because this is our last charter, these people didn't pay any less because it's our last charter.
True, yeah.
Like, you don't get to phone it in.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the first lunch. Did you write down the food that they served the first lunch? The miscommunication salt lunch?
It was the pita bread with hummus and then scallops with edamame puree and corn sauce, right?
Yes.
That's the one? Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was the
right. I remember that. I don't know if it was this specific one because I don't write the food down.
Pretty sure that's yeah.
But I remember seeing that scallop and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah. So pita bread, as probably everybody knows, is basically a fancy chip, and it's really good to mix with the flavors of hummus, which is chickpeas with a mixture of citrus, red peppers, olives, garlic, amongst other herbs.
I love red pepper hummus, but that's really the only one I like. I don't like original or like...
Yeah, I don't like hummus or guacamole.
Have you tried hummus?
Yeah.
The red pepper?
I've tried it here.
Okay, because I was going to say the red pepper is the only one that I like because I don't even really like the garlic one.
I don't like, well, I don't like the texture.
Yeah, it is a weird sandy texture.
I don't like when things are overly garlicky besides garlic bread.
Yeah. You'd have to be a psycho to not love garlic bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you'd be an alien. Scallops on a bed of edamame puree and corn sauce.
Oh, that just sounds so good.
Yeah. Pretty sure I nailed this one, so I'm just going to read it without checking it first.
Okay.
Scallops are essentially little flavor sponges that have a light and tender texture. The edamame and corn sauce works perfectly with seafood, with the flavor notes of the sweetness and bitterness of the edamame beans and the sweet and milky flavors of the corn.
Wow.
How was that?
I mean, that described exactly what I was assuming it was. Good job.
I don't like your attitude right now.
No, I'm just saying, it's one of those things. Would I ever attempt to make that? Absolutely not. I would mess that up. Mm-hmm. But I would eat that. I'd eat the shit out of that. Mm-hmm. So I believe you.
Cool.
So that's all they had for lunch, though. Don't you think that's kind of a little lunch?
It was very small.
I would be like, I want more food. Unless they just had more like snacky stuff that we didn't see.
I don't know if I missed something or they didn't show us something.
I was thinking that. I don't think you missed anything. I think they only showed us basically the scallop. I didn't even remember the hummus, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty quick. So if I missed something, let me know. I don't think I did.
Yeah.
But maybe they just didn't show us something because, like, no grown person can eat a little bit of hummus and pita and then this big of
one single scallop.
Like, it probably tasted amazing, right. But I need like 6 of them.
Yeah. So now we can kind of just jump to like they hired this Reiki lady, which, you know what, I meant to Google. I forgot to do this. I meant to Google like what Reiki like is. They show her, and here's the vibe I got is it's kind of like a yoga mixed with meditation type.
Like a guided meditation, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not saying I don't believe in it, but I think a lot of these things are very similar and they just call them different things. So it says Reiki is a complementary therapy relating to energy healing. Proponents say it works through the transfer of universal energy from the practitioner's palms to the client. So yeah, it's a type of energy healing. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe. That's what I'm going to leave at it. And here's my take. I'm a therapist, and I will tell people, I don't care whether, like, as long as it's not harmful to you or anyone else, whatever you think helps you, that's great. Yeah. Whatever you think will help you live the best life you can live, go ahead. Like, so if people really got down with Reiki, I mean, that lady seemed cool. Like, I was like, oh, she's really cool looking. And
it seemed like something that I would even enjoy to be a part of, like that meditation yoga thing that they showed us. It seemed pretty cool. It seemed very relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I was thinking like, okay, because I always think about like, what would my perfect yacht trip be? I probably would say like a yoga, like
I'd go with massage rather than yoga.
I would, yeah.
Because we're going to be hungover and full of food.
Right, but really yoga's good. Yoga. It's not like running a marathon.
It is for me.
That's true, it is. But I was like, no, that would be nice to wake up, have breakfast, do yoga, then enjoy the water sport or the water toys and stuff. I didn't hate everything they chose to do on this. I thought it was pretty well designed. Yeah. And we haven't even seen all of it yet. So I think they all dress up like Beyonce next week.
Yeah, that's I think that's what they do. I don't know. It's not something I would do, but you paid for it. Do whatever you want.
So I forget what the context was because sometimes I write notes that I'm like, I remember, like, I'm like, oh, I'll remember this, but then I don't remember it when we're in the podcast. But I said they're making Chef look like a loser, and I can't remember why. I think they were like interviewing him and he was talking about how he's 40 and he feels like he really hasn't accomplished anything.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple different things. Like right after the guests get there, he's trying to take off his shirt and it like gets stuck. Yeah. And it's like his like muffin top as he's like trying to pull off his shirt. Like, come on.
Why are they doing this guy so dirty?
And yeah, it was that, and then it was he's talking to himself, or the camera, obviously, but he's in the crew mess, and he's it's in between him saying like, my 30s were fun, 40s suck, and then it just shows him like, I'm gonna eat another sandwich.
Oh yes.
And like before that, they show him just wolfing down a sandwich and like
drinking his Diet Coke.
Like, come on, he drank a Diet Coke.
Give this guy a break.
Give him a break.
He's tired.
Go show someone's butt cheeks or something below deck, all right? Don't make fun of the guy.
I know, this poor guy. So yeah, okay, now I remember why I wrote that. Really, like, again, just more of the same stuff. Like, Sunny, I said, this is where I put Sunny, come on, girl, I can't keep defending you. She wants to go with Ben after the boat. She's got to know that she's literally his last option.
Yeah.
Like, no, girl, stop. It'd be one thing if she's like, yeah, like, I just want to go have fun with somebody after this. Like, because I feel like we've seen that before where they're like, yeah, we're just going to go travel, go to Italy, go to whatever. Okay, great. But she's like, no, I think we can really make it work.
Yeah.
Girl, come on.
And is she roommates with Zandy or Barbie?
Barbie, I think.
She could just go hang out with Barbie. I know her and Kyle are doing a thing.
Oh, yeah, we'll see what happens there.
She could just go to Miami, hang out. She doesn't have to hang out with Ben.
I know. Because it's so true. Like, this is going to sound so mean. Ben is one of those guys that is so cool in the context of a super yacht. Like, he's the bosun of a super yacht, so he's cool. Take him off that boat, and you're like...
Nice man bun, douchebag.
You're like, oh, okay, maybe.
Oh, cargo shorts, huh? Yikes. Rough.
Nice man bun. Oh, man. Anywho, then I said Captain Carry Defender till I die with about 5 exclamation points. Because Ben's like talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, and yeah, we'll get to the end where they like just blatantly defy him. And I'm like, good luck getting a reference. Like, it's one thing, oh, what's he going to do? Fire us? Yeah, you're right. He's not going to fire you. Do you think he's going to vouch for you?
Yeah.
No. You're going to ruin it all because you didn't want to clean your room, you little fucking baby.
Yeah. It's so stupid. Like, I get it. Like, whatever, you can't fire me, but...
Yeah, you're right.
You won't get another job at this high of level.
Yeah.
In this high level of a captain.
All because you didn't want to make your bed. Because you're a giant baby. I'm sorry.
Because you're working so hard. And then, and Ben's making out with Sunny. Kyle's making out with Barbie. Like,
yeah, I can't make my bed. I'm too busy.
Just go clean your room.
I have no sympathy for people like that. That are like...
Their rooms are like half the size of this room.
Or maybe a fourth size of this room. Like, they're tiny.
You guys can't see this room, but we're actually in a warehouse.
No, we're in my office / guest room / recording studio.
Yep.
This is a multi-purpose room for sure.
It works out though. There's enough space.
There is, yes. It's nice. All right. Want to jump to dinner?
Sure.
I'm ready for the dessert, but obviously that's last.
That would make
prepared.
The most sense.
Yes.
French vinaigrette salad.
Okay.
All I have written down is I want to eat this salad. I'm kidding.
Okay, I was gonna say because I don't remember what's in it.
It's shallots, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just had a brain fart. Shallots, red wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, olive oil, salt, and pepper. It is acidic but delicious. That gets balanced out with the heartiness and butteriness of olive oil. All the flavors mixed in like that. The one guest complains about the arugula in her salad. She doesn't like arugula. Didn't put it on her preference sheet. I put it's not on the preference sheet. Get fucked. And then we have local lobsters with lobster bisque and French saffron risotto. Sounds fucking amazing.
So, okay, maybe you said this and I am an idiot and wasn't listening. What makes a shallot different than an onion?
I think it's more potent. I could be wrong. I don't work with shallots much.
Okay, let me Google it. I'm a big Googler.
I want to say it's more potent.
So what's the difference between a shallot and an onion? Shallots taste like a cross between red and yellow onions, only less punchy. Okay, so they're less punchy.
They're less pungent.
They have a delicate sweet flavor with a hint of alluminum.
Aluminium?
It's allium.
Allium?
Alliumy sharpness. You can substitute shallots in nearly any recipe that calls for onions. So yeah, it's like a mini onion, but I wasn't sure because, like in sushi, sometimes they'll use shallot, and I always kind of stray away from that because I hate onion. Mm-hmm. But maybe I would like it because it's less punchy.
Maybe.
So
yeah, it's probably a hybrid of the two.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. If I look weird, my headphone cord is really short. I forgot to bring the extender, so I'm like, this is as far as I can move away from the thing.
You're assuming you don't always look weird?
What'd you say?
All right, what's next?
None of your fucking business, honestly.
I hate it here.
I fucking hate it here. Like I said, local lobsters with lobster bisque and French saffron risotto. Lobster bisque is a buttery, hearty, and salty soup that mixes perfectly with the earthy and floral notes of the saffron and the white wine / Parmesan that's in the saffron risotto. And they say it's too salty, but it's fucking lobster.
Well, he also added more salt.
Yeah. That is very true.
I love lobster bisque.
Yeah.
We're going to a restaurant tomorrow night that serves lobster, and we don't have a lot of money, but I really want to get lobster.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Are you so excited?
Yeah, I've been wanting to try that place.
Yes.
The owner I went to school with.
Really? Is he like your age?
He's 2 years younger than me.
What?
Yeah.
I would have not guessed that.
He's like genuinely one of the nicest guys in the world.
I mean, so we're talking about this new restaurant that opened near us probably like a month-ish ago.
Yeah, they had a soft launch, I think, a month.
Yeah, and it's like
month and a half ago.
It's like fine dining for our area. I mean, we like lack a lot of fine dining where we're at, but it's Italian and heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
Like, and they serve like lobster and pastas and like they have really nice cocktails, I hear.
Yeah.
So, my stepson's graduating 8th grade promotion. So we're going to go celebrate that.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we'll come, hopefully we'll report back. We'll report back how it is if we remember.
Yeah. I really hope it's good because the guy that owns it is genuinely one of the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah.
You'd never expect it because he like lifts every day, entrepreneur. You're like, this guy's got to be a douche. And then you talk to him and you're like,
dang it, he's
nicest
nice
guy in the world.
Did he stay around here after high school or did he leave and come back?
He stayed and he was building a different business that him and his brother run.
Oh, man.
Now he's running the restaurant.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of off topic, but I didn't say this to you, but we're going to record our bonus episode this weekend. So in a couple days. I have such a good idea that we're going to do, and it's not going to take up the whole bonus episode, but it's going to be part of the bonus episode. We are going to give our opinions of the new season cast. Like, obviously we know Captain Sandy and Aisha, so we already like know we like them, but we know nothing about all these other people. So we're gonna just look at a picture of them and predict if we're gonna like them or not.
That sounds fun. I like that.
I know, because then we'll get to like rewatch it and we could be totally wrong or totally right.
Or we could be dead on.
Right.
I'm pumped for that. That sounds very fun.
Yes, I thought that was a great idea. So you heard it here
really
first. That's gonna be part of our bonus episode.
And I'll just edit the picture into the video.
Yes.
You guys can judge with us.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be great.
So great.
I'm
all right.
pumped.
Moving on. What you got next?
Dessert.
Oh, cool. Lemon tart with chantilly cream and a cherry compote in a red wine reduction. Mm-hmm. So we learned chantilly cream is like a sweetened whipped cream.
Okay.
Somebody said that in the comments. I can't remember exactly, but it's not exactly whipped cream, but it's very similar. Mm-hmm. Sweetened vanilla, whatever. Lemon tart, he does say, is like a very finicky dessert. Like, it's not super easy to make. So a lemon tart is a dessert dish. It has a pastry shell with lemon flavored filling. it's like a baked, and they bake it. But what they do is they have to blind bake the tart first. Because I do watch baking shows, and tarts are pretty difficult because you have to, like, they call it a blind bake because you have to bake the tart shell just enough that it's not raw when you put the filling in, because the filling has to also bake, but it's got to be like somewhat baked, but not too baked, because then when you bake the filling with it, it'll get over baked. Does that make sense? I think that's why it's difficult.
Sounds like you on a Friday night.
Whatever.
No, I get.
Do you guys get why it's difficult?
Yeah, I understand too. I just thought of that joke and I had to let it fly.
That's all you had. Once you thought of the joke, you couldn't think of anything else.
I'm getting better at that because I was like that for a while. I would think of a joke and be like, "Are you done talking yet?" Like, I have this funny joke.
Funny joke. No, this sounds really good, and I don't even like lemon. Like, I would never choose like a lemon dessert.
I would swallow this dessert whole.
Not even taste it.
No.
But they said it's really good. And the cherry compote, oh my God. Cherry's like my favorite, honestly, flavor of dessert.
Yeah, cherry and lemon are my two favorites, so I would love this dessert.
Cherry's like probably my number one. It just depends, because I really like raspberry too. Mm-hmm. It just depends on the context. I like blueberry too. Yeah. Honestly, really the only types of fruit I don't like in desserts are like the citrus.
Coconut.
So like, oh yeah, I hate coconut.
Yeah.
I would put that on my preference sheet for sure.
Yeah.
Like no coconut desserts.
I don't know if I'd put it on there because I hate coconut when it's like coconut candy, like, but I've had things before that had like coconut shrimp. I love coconut shrimp.
Yeah, I guess literally the only time I like coconut is in the Trinidad's from Fannie Mae.
Yeah, that's good too.
But so, yeah,
I'd trust them. I don't think I'd put it on my preference sheet.
No, I'd put it on mine for sure. And then I have justice for the primary because they keep getting mad at her.
Yeah. They're like, how much salt do you want? We haven't asked you. We've been eavesdropping.
I know.
Get it together.
That's why when you asked, I was like, honestly, I don't want to say anything bad about her because she's not even complaining.
Yeah, she's just having a conversation and they're listening in on her.
Oh, man. Okay, then we're going to move on to cabin inspections. What are your thoughts on him doing this? Captain doing this?
I think it's a punishment, and it's also showing Captain who's going to make it out throughout an entire season.
Who's going to respect you up till the last day.
Till the last minute. Who do I want to hire back? Mm-hmm. If I ever get the chance to, who am I going to recommend to other captains?
Yep.
And Kyle and Ben failed that. Everyone else did fairly well. Yeah, I think that's kind of what it was. Just the last test.
Yeah. So this shows how, this is why I go back and forth on Fraser, because I am Fraser. Like, you know me, my cabin, I wouldn't have had to worry about anything.
You would have spent about 6 minutes.
Yep.
And 4 of the minutes would have been anxiety. 2 would have been like putting your toothbrush away.
Like, nope, my toothbrush would already be away. What I would probably have to do is make the bed more tidy, because I would have already made my bed. I would have had to make it better. Then I probably would have had to like wipe the bathroom mirror, because that's something I don't do every day. Other than that, my clothes are never, like, I never leave my clothes on the floor for more than 12 hours. If that, because it'll usually be like from the morning to the evening, then I'll clean them up. So I would not have worried about this, just like Fraser didn't. He's like, have some decorum, you swine. And I was like, yes, same. You would have a really messy bunk, but you wouldn't have been like Ben and Kyle. You would have cleaned it, but it would have taken you about a half an hour.
Yeah, it would have taken a while, but I wouldn't have been like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I was working hard today. Like, everyone said, like, okay, take breaks to clean your cabin. Yeah, stupid. I said it was a big FU from Captain, not in the like, oh my God, why is he doing this? But him being like, nope, like, we're going to work till the last. Yeah, and it was warranted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was funny. I said I wouldn't be worried about my cabin either. Unless I had a really messy roommate.
I would have been very worried.
Yeah.
But I would have done the work.
So now we're at breakfast, and I actually laughed at this too, because Fraser comes up and he's like, hey, we're doing omelets for breakfast. And Mary's like, no, I want a salmon Benedict. And I was like, honestly, you go, girl. You paid for it.
I think that's just another example of like, I paid for it.
Yeah.
I want it. You know, she's not asking for like a roasted duck.
Right.
You know, she's asking for something that's clearly a breakfast item that they serve all the time.
Yep.
That they have prepped and ready to go, most likely.
And honestly, I would probably be the same. Like, I'd be like, I can get an omelet in my
anywhere.
Yeah, my small little Midwest town.
Any Denny's across the United States.
But you know what I can't get is like a lobster roasted Benedict.
Oh, yeah.
Roasted duck Benedict.
New at Denny's. Roasted duck.
They're like, shit, get that on the menu right now. But no, I'd be like, give me a lobster Benedict. I wouldn't go with salmon because I like lobster way more than salmon, but and salmon's also not like indigenous to this area.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if lobster is either.
I think it is anywhere like the ocean is, no?
Lobster is, I could be dead wrong. Don't yell at me. But I believe lobster is a cold water crustacean.
Let's Google it. Where can you find lobster?
In the ocean.
Denny's.
They're already on it.
They're like, we heard you. No, it for real says Red Lobster. Speaking of, Ask Lane, this is all I've been able to talk about for like the last week. The fact that Red Lobster is going bankrupt over the endless shrimp promotion.
It's so dumb.
You can't write comedy like that.
Yeah.
Like, you literally can't make that up. That's such a good idea for like a comedy bit.
Yeah, even if you put that in a movie like Waiting or like Employee of the Month,
they'd be like,
yeah, that's like funny, but like that would never happen. No one would be that fucking dumb.
If you have not been watching the news, Red Lobster is literally, it's probably going to come up here as one of the things on Google. Red Lobster is going bankrupt, like literally closing a bunch of restaurants because of the endless shrimp promotion they did. And Lane and I talked about this. They made a couple mistakes here.
Yeah.
Number one, you were allowed to eat shrimp for 4 hours.
4 hours of shrimp. Something that costs a lot of money that's this big.
Yes. Why on God's green earth would you let someone eat shrimp for 4 hours? That's
stupid.
If you got there by, let's say, when they open, like let's say they open at 11 a.m., you could essentially eat your lunch and dinner.
Yeah, or breakfast and dinner.
So yeah, you could like essentially eat both your meals. And that was, okay, so that was one thing they messed up with. What was the other thing they messed up? Like it wasn't too expensive.
It was the timing. Oh, it was the amount that the waitress or waiter would bring to the table.
Yes. Okay, so we were talking about this. So like we were at Applebee's once when they had the endless wings.
Yeah, and they were dicks about it.
Right. And you have to be so that you don't go bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean Applebee's is shutting down like half as many stores as Red Lobster this year, but
so what they do is like when you first order your wings, you get like 8.
Yeah.
And then the waitress strategically doesn't come back to you every 5 minutes like, hey, you want more wings? They come back to you every, let's say, 20 minutes, and then they take your order, and then they have to put the order in, and then you get 4 more wings. And that's how you order. And so you end up not getting that many wings. You're basically probably paying the appropriate amount for the appropriate amount of wings you're getting.
Yeah.
But anyways, we were just talking about how you really think that these people that are at the top are smart, and they're not.
No.
They're not. So they're no smarter than you or I.
Yeah, they just know somebody and they're good. They can sell themselves.
Yep. Okay, we really probably need to move on. So just a couple things. Zandy says no time to flush the toilet, and I'm like, excuse me? Do you remember? It was just in passing. They were talking about the cabins, and Zandy's like, I'm working so hard. I don't even have time to flush the toilet. And I'm like, excuse me?
Oh, yeah. I was like, what does that even mean? I know what it means, but like, why?
I know. I think it was a joke, but I was like, you have time to flush the toilet.
Yeah,
you're not going to leave your shit in the toilet.
Less than 3 seconds.
Paris still hates Chef. That's not a surprise.
Paris. Yeah. I thought you said Barbie.
No, Paris still hates the chef. And now we're at the beach lunch. Did you write down any food for the beach lunch?
Wrote down a bunch of octopus and shrimp.
Okay. Oh my God. Speaking of shrimp, wow, what a great segue.
What a great segue.
They had shrimp at the beach.
Endless shrimp. Just kidding. They're not stupid.
Yeah. Is that really it? It was just like grilled on the beach.
Yeah. Just grilled.
They liked it,
grilled octopus and shrimp. Octopus is, I think we talked about it last episode or the episode before. It's kind of like fish, but it's almost like tuna, but a little more firm.
Okay, because I was going to say, have you ever had grilled octopus?
I swear I have, but I would believe you if you said I didn't.
I mean, I don't think I have. Okay, this is going to sound stupid, but what's calamari?
Squid.
Okay, we already had this conversation.
We had this conversation last week. Yeah.
So I really don't know that I've had grilled octopus. I'm with you. I want to say that I have, but like I don't remember if I liked it or didn't, or the texture, or...
I don't remember. I mean, I lived in Florida, but I don't remember if I had octopus or I had it up here at a fancy restaurant.
I'm trying to recall. I swear, I don't know if you were there, but we were with someone that like we don't typically go to dinner or lunch with or whatever, and they ordered octopus. And I can't remember. You know what I'm thinking it might have been? When we went to Chicago for Aunt Gloria's...
I was just thinking that.
Did they order octopus?
I think they did.
But I don't remember if I tried it.
I know. I was just thinking that, and I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to say her name, so I'll just bleep out when you say it.
It's Aunt Gloria. I don't think you guys know my Aunt Gloria, right? I'm not going to tell you where she lives in Chicago.
I'll tell you where she lives.
It's a pretty big city.
I'll tell you exactly where she lives. No, I'm kidding.
She's a sweet old lady that lives in Chicago.
Yeah, don't mess with her.
Yeah, Lane doesn't need to bleep her name.
Yeah, probably not.
Anyways.
I'm overly protective with that stuff. But I think it was there because we also had calamari there.
Anyways, the big drama on the beach is the creme brulee.
Yeah.
So first of all, I said, not exactly what I would choose for a dessert on the beach. But who am I? You know?
Yeah, I don't want anything hot when I'm on the beach.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want like a sorbet or like, which I get maybe wouldn't have been possible because they had to transport it. Mm-hmm. I think the reason, like, because he made the creme brulee and then they just fire it on the beach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he probably knows better than me. But
like a root beer float would be cool.
Basically what happens is this one guest was like, I don't want it. Mm-hmm. Sends it back. And then she's like, I want it.
Yeah.
And then they make it because they ate it. Paris and Sunny ate it. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh my God. She said she wanted it back. This is why we don't eat this. And then like Paris goes over there. She's like, you told me I could eat it. And then they were fine.
Yeah, no, that was... If that was real...
It was not a big deal.
Throw a boulder at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't ever eat something like that.
Yeah,
because you can't recreate it on your own. The chef is gone.
But if Paris is telling the truth and that guest really said, you deserve it, you have it, I'd eat it. If the guest specifically said you can have it, if they just sent it back, I probably wouldn't touch it.
Would you eat it if Jill sent it back?
Oh, God, no, because I knew she'd be testing me.
You never know.
So we're basically at the end of the episode. Here are the rankings, because this is where we get into the Captain, Kyle, Ben bunk thing. Here I wrote down the rankings for the bunks. Fraser's 10. Mm-hmm. Which, who does he bunk with?
He's by himself.
Oh, that's nice. Mm-hmm. I didn't, because I wrote Fraser's bunk, but then I'm like, wait, they didn't say. Well, that's why. If I had my own bunk, spotless.
Yeah.
Dylan and Chef's 7. Not terrible. Zandy and Paris, 9. Sunny and Barbie, 7. Ben and Kyle, fucking disrespectful.
Yeah.
And rude. And I'm with Captain.
Rude.
It's rude. It's literally a fuck you to Captain.
It is, and because the thing is, you can find 10 minutes to do a bullshit early 20s cleaning job.
And probably get a 6.
I was just going to say, and get a 5 or a 6.
Yep.
And Captain's going to be a little pissed off.
Right.
But he's like, he could go on either way, but he could say, I know you guys are busy. I know, it looks like you kind of tried. But when it's just a blatant fuck you, that's not good for anybody.
No, I know. So the episode ends with Captain bringing them up to the Sky Bridge. Is that what you call it? The Sky Bridge?
The bridge.
And being like, fuck you too. Like, do you think you're better than me? Like, and so I'm really interested to see how this goes. Like, my prediction is they're going to be like, sorry, Captain. Like, we're sorry. We blah, blah, blah. Like, they're not going to talk back to him.
No.
But, like, if I were Captain, I'd seriously consider, like, I don't know if I would recommend you. If you're going to, like, just not care at the end of a season because it's the end, that shows, like, I just don't want somebody like that. I want someone who's going to do the job till the last day.
Well, and I would understand a little more if it was like a difficult thing, like swim down and carry the anchor up. The chain broke. Like, okay, I'm probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
But it was cleaning your room.
I know.
That's what teenagers do when they want to tell their mom,
F
like,
you.
Fuck you.
Right.
And it's stupid.
So we will see what happens. I mean...
Maybe.
Obviously, like, they're not going to get fired. It's the end. But it'll be interesting to see how, like, things end with Captain and Ben and Kyle. So the coming up on, there's a huge blow up with Zandy and Barbie.
Yeah.
Like,
and they both have a meltdown.
They both have meltdowns.
Yeah.
So the finale is going to be something. We're excited for it.
Yeah. And guess what?
What?
The secret word today is season finale.
Season finale.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is obviously coming out today. We will have the finale out. We're really not going to miss a beat because they don't miss a beat. The finale is on Memorial Day. And then Med premieres June 3rd.
Yeah.
Our bonus episode will drop in there somewhere. Like, I'm guessing our bonus episode, by the time we record it and Lane edits it, will probably drop shortly after our first episode of
Med.
Well, actually, no. Probably will drop shortly after the finale episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So look out for the bonus episode. We might post it on social media of, like, when it's dropping. If not, it'll just be a surprise drop for you guys. But I'm guessing it'll drop, like, between the finale and the first episode of Med. Let's say that.
Yeah. 2 things. This episode is actually going to be posted in 4 hours. And let us know, like, a day or a time that you would want the bonus episode if you guys are, like, drinking or smoking along with us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't really have a set time that we post those. It's usually just like, hey, that seems like a good time.
Yeah.
So if you guys have a preference, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And then I know I keep saying this, and I know I say a lot of things, but I really do want to do a live.
Yeah.
And that's separate from the bonus. So we're going to record the bonus on our own. It's not going to be live. I'm thinking we can do a some sort of a live, like, maybe between the premiere of Med and the second episode, or right around the beginning because I wanted to do it between the two. Like, I wanted to do a live actually next weekend, but my husband and I leave for vacation Saturday morning, and we could potentially do it that Friday night. So maybe we'll do that. We will let you guys know. We're just kind of brainstorming, but I do want to do a live for you guys because I think it would be really fun, even if it was just a few of you that could make it on a Friday night, let's say.
Yeah.
And we would obviously record it and then put it out there for people that couldn't be there on live. But in the works, we have obviously, like, the finale, the bonus episode, and we're working on a live for you guys.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, starting with the new season of Med, we are going to be exclusively on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on an audio podcast, we really don't want to lose you. We love you guys, please come watch or listen to us on YouTube.
Yeah, come on over.
It just became too much to do the audio as well. So
yeah, we're a small podcast.
Yeah. We don't make money off of this. So we have fun doing it, but we've said this before, we don't want it to become where it's costing us money or it's becoming too much work. So we decided to cut out the audio just because nobody's paying us to do that. So yeah. You got anything else?
No.
All right. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.